were involved with trying to put this together. One of them was a good friend named Mitch LaFawn, and a big Kiss fan, a big Kiss supporter, and he does a lot of stuff for them on the side, I believe, in promotional sense. He kept bugging us to try to do something that could be Kiss and Frehley's Comet oriented. So John Regan and I thought about, well, maybe we could do something like that. So we started trying to assemble other players, and people were helping us out with that. And then we stumbled upon, or not stumbled, we pursued Danny Stanton at Collier Entertainment, and he found us Stat Howland, the drummer Stat Howland, who used to play with Wasp. Great guy, fantastic guy. At the same time, we had already pretty much procured through some of our Canadian connections, which is Mitch LaFawn, Sean Kelly, who's a great guitar player, fantastic guitar player. And I think the appealing thing for both John and myself is that these guys are not jaded. They're not, you know, stars in their own minds. They're incredible, capable musicians, and we all have the same idea, same plan, and same goal, which we want to do. And as a matter of fact, we, at the time of this taping, it'll be this coming Thursday. I fly out to New York, and we all fly out there to do our first rehearsals to get the set list that's already been established and we're working on. Get that done, see where we're going to go from there, take some pictures, get some recent shots of us all, and see how it flies. We've got some shows booked, a lot in Europe. Some shows are starting to pop up here in the States. It depends on the demand, depends on how well we're loved, received. We'll see what happens.
So yeah, I noticed that you have a lot of shows right now in Europe, and you just got a few. And okay, that was you. I thought our Skype froze. So, how many shows do you have booked in the States so far? And when do they start?
I think there are 1, 2, 3. I think there are maybe somewhere around half a dozen, maybe.
Okay.
Because this just started. I mean,
so where are they like booked from? Like,
I think mostly the East. I think the East Coast. I believe we have one of them. A couple of them are, I think, somewhere in the Midwest. Maybe one's in Texas. And I don't recall. I don't even remember. I've been so busy at my own studio. I'm at my home right now, but I've been busy in my recording studio, which is my rehearsal place as well, working on so much stuff and then taking care of some other things. And, you know, I get the notice, oh yeah, we got this, we got that, okay, I'll put that on the calendar, and then I forget about it because I'm over there, you know, working on these new tunes that I got. And then I just completely forget where the hell they are. And plus some of them we're not posting because it's kind of we need to reveal them in a proper manner.
Oh, okay. I'm sure St. Louis is going to be one of the ones since you got families from there.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I think that it's not only so much the family, which is always good. I think it's going to be where it will be beneficial for us to do a show there based on the interest of, hey, that sounds interesting. You've got John Regan from, you know, Billy Idol, Mick Jagger, the Stones, Stephen Stills, Peter Frampton, you know, a plethora of players. Then Stat Howland from Wasp, and Lita Ford, and then Sean Kelly from his Crash Kelly, and Nelly Furtado, and me with my connection. So it kind of makes a nice package, and we have to find out where that may spark the most interest, as we'll be doing a lot of Frehley's Comet stuff as well. So hopefully, you know, and word of mouth will happen as soon as we do some shows. You know, these guys are smoking, or these guys are really good, or I'm going to go with those two.
So how do you think social media would play into, as compared to the old-fashioned way of doing the promotions, and now social media, you can kind of get on and self-promote yourself?
Well, yeah, there's two different perspectives there. You've got the self-promotion perspective, like, you know, we rock, we're the best, you know. and then you've got the reporting from the people that actually see the shows and may or may not like you. So it's great because it's fast and it's accelerating. It's also a blender of misinformation or which can go both ways again, bad or good. So yeah, it's much different, of course. I think for people, promoters that are looking to put something together, it's quicker and more decisive, like, wow, based on things I'm reading or hearing, this is what we want to do, or based on what I'm hearing, seeing, reading, this is what we don't want to do. So it can work both in your favor, and probably rightly so. It cuts down a lot of the crap.
And how long does it generally take you to write a song?
Well, it depends on the inspiration. I've written something like Time Ain't Running Out. I think I wrote that thing in about a half an hour because it just flowed. Matter of fact, I wrote that song for Fairley's Comment when I was writing something else. I forget what the other tune was, but it just comes to mind. Like, I've got on my iPhone, I'm writing songs all the time. I've got, I don't know how many ideas there that I need to finish. The problem is they come at such inopportune moments that when I'm doing something else, I've got to work it out and then go, oh yeah, I'll work on that when I get home, and if I don't record it, it's gone. But usually I take a little more time now to write songs, because if you write them too quickly, unless they come really quickly, I try to progress in a manner where the song has some intelligence to it, and something that I like, that I find appealing or fresh, because there's so many other things I've written before, and they start to sound a little bit the same. Go, okay, where have I heard that before? Oh, I've written that part somewhere else, which is normal. But so I take a little more time. I've got some songs right now that are just slamming, and I can't wait to bring them to the guys. And even I played this one for my son. He actually came in. He lives in my recording studio right now. He's going to college, and he came in when I was just finishing up my rehearsals and going over this new song, and it's got this neat little riff in it right in the verse, and he goes, I like that. That's great. And he likes weird stuff, and he's 29 years old, and he's not really nowhere near a rocker at all. But he liked this particular songs because it's just heavy and different. So that's what I strive for when I'm writing songs.
How was it to work with like Gene Simmons and Ace Frehley?
Obviously two different characters, and a lot of the Kiss fans will attest to this, because a lot of the diehards know exactly how Ace is and know exactly how Gene is. I actually met with Gene. I met him way back in 1980 when I was playing with another band, and he was auditioning us with his then girlfriend Diana Ross. That's when I first met Gene, and he remembered me. Unbelievable. Even later on, when I got more popular and sort of famous, he goes, oh yeah, how you doing? I remember you with so-and-so. I'm like, wow, good memory. Gene was good. He's methodical, he's business-minded. He always has been. That's what's made Kiss so phenomenal, marketable. He knows what he wants to accomplish. He usually gets it done. He's brilliant at mastering the images and parlaying them into a huge demographic. He's pretty much all business. I mean, he's got musical talent. He's got great vocals. And he's got good, nice bass style that is very predominant for Kiss. I mean, it pops and comes through, and it's obviously that's what makes a quarter of Kiss. Ace is the same way with his style, as everybody knows. Ace is not so business-minded as anywhere near business-minded as Gene is, because Ace is more of the creative, spontaneous player. I mean, his character is all. I mean, when Ace plays, it delivers from his heart right to his fretboard, and his, what he wants to put out there, and that's where it comes through. So he's the artistic half of the comparison between Gene and Ace. I mean, Ace paid attention to some of the money part of it, but he let others take care of that rather than worrying about it too much. And that's not to say anything bad about Ace's business prowess for Fairley's Comet. I think we could have managed things a lot better, but yeah, just just two different people that accomplished an incredible goal.
What was your when you were a cover band? Obviously, you played a lot the Strip, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, well, all my cover bands played in San Diego.
Okay.
When I moved to LA, I didn't want to do any cover bands. I just wanted to work a day job and do an original bands. So back then, I was always writing songs, and of course, I had more energy. I was only 22 years old. 22 years old, I think, is when I moved up there, and so I could work all day and then drag around a bunch of heavy keyboard and guitar equipment at night in my van, which I loaded a lot myself. My God, it was hard.
The days before the roadies.
Just the originals.
Before the roadies, when you had to do it yourself. The days before the roadies.
Oh yeah, there was no roadie. Sometimes you'd have guys help you, depending if we did a show. Then you'd have people help you because I had a Hammond B3. I had a big, giant folding Yamaha grand piano. My amplifiers, my guitars. It was a lot of stuff, and I'm not a big guy. I mean, I muscled through it, but it took out my back on more than one occasion.
How did so you played the Viper Room or the Whiskey A Go Go or the Key Club?
Played the Viper Room. I would have loved to. We did the Whiskey. We did
the Key Club,
Troubadour. What else did we play? There was venues in North Hollywood. I forget what they are now. We played some other place on the Strip. I'm trying to think if I ever played the Starwood. I don't think I ever got the opportunity to play the Starwood. I don't remember. That would have been with 707 because that was the first years. But that was a lot of fun. I mean, I was living the dream as far as I was concerned. I was playing original material, or at least somebody else's original material that I got to be a part of. And there was a lot of great players. I mean, Vinny Appice, which is Carmine's little brother, phenomenal drummer. Played with Pete Comita and John Brandt and Frankie Benelli. You just have to write down all the people that I ended up playing with in these bands until I eventually joined up with 707.
Now, is your going back to Cocoa Blue for a minute? Your Cocoa Blue, you said, is that on iTunes now, or is it coming soon to iTunes?
It is. I've got to update a status, I guess, somewhere along the line. But everything is on iTunes now. My whole solo catalog is on iTunes. I did that when I uploaded all of Cocoa Blue stuff, because I handle that stuff for them as they're all kind of busy doing their separate lives and projects. And yeah, everything's there. I think there's about 12 songs on the download, and a lot of them, I mean, there's just some great stuff on there. I mean, some great playing, singing, some arrangements we did. We had a good time. We had a laugh, just a blast doing it. Back then in that band, I was called the Asshole because I was a tyrant. I wanted everything. I ran it, like I was the Gene Simmons, I guess, of the band, because I wanted everything to run a certain way, and run smoothly. And we got to get this done. Everybody show up at rehearsal, no messing around, that kind of thing. And not that I'm saying Gene Simmons is an asshole, but he got things done. So when we got back 35 years later to record, we all laughed. We've been laughing about it over the years, but we laugh about it because I was a complete aloof and like, hey, let's just do whatever we want to. We were paid for the studio time. We had all done our homework and did the songs, and we had so much fun in the studio, laughing and goofing off. And I was not. Jason showed up late to do his bass, and he was afraid I was going to yell at him like the old days. And he called me up and says, "I'm going to be late. You're not going to yell at me when I get there, are you?" I said, "No, cousin." Things have changed a little bit, but yeah, it was a good laugh. We had so much fun. So yes, they are on iTunes.
They are on iTunes. And what was that? I forgot my question. Oh, a couple of fun questions. If you were a color, what would you be and why?
If I was a color?
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably be red. I mean, not that it's coincidence I pulled out my old Steinbrecher here, but it was the only one out of the case at the moment. Red because it breaks through. You can shine it and polish it, and you can see the results of your hard work on the shine and the polish, but you can also see the depth inside the red. It can be flashy, it can be angry, it can even be sullen in the right light. So yeah, I would definitely be red.
What about an instrument? If you were an instrument, what would you be and why?
A piano. I'd be a piano. Because the one great thing about me learning piano first is I can play, and I do strange inversions on the guitar and piano. They're kind of unorthodox because, well, it's just the way I am, I guess. They're not real wild, but I'd probably be a piano because, or I would be a piano because I can play the bass notes, I can play the top color notes, and I can sing the melody through it that haunts through the bottom chords and bottom notes and the top chords, or I can play those as well. And just by simply changing a triad or a fifth or minor to major, you can evoke so much different color and emotion through a piano and the songs, as opposed to, I mean, some guitar players can do that and then more. I don't. So for me, it would have to be a piano because there's just so many notes and combinations of configuring a song. That's why I like It's Over Now, because it has these neat little opposing melodies that are kind of in an orchestra manner, and I really like that. I love movie scores. I listen to movie scores, and everything that's going on. It's just fascinating for me. So piano, short answer.
So how do you see the difference between like keyboards and the actual piano?
How do I what now?
The difference? Is there any real big difference between the keyboard and the piano? Well, in
a general term, a keyboard will cover everything that has keys on it. In my definition, a clavinet, harpsichord, organ, piano, Moog, synthesizer, anything with a keyboard that has black and white keys is a keyboard. Piano, of course, is just a piano, which there are different variations: upright, a grand, baby grands. So that's the only variation that I know.
Which do you prefer, being a drummer? The drum machine or the real bam, bam, bam?
Oh. Well, the real drums. I mean, and I say this because all my demos I used to do, I work with many different drum machines. I program drum machines. Hate them. They just drive me nuts, and there's no life, there's no soul to them. You can make them have a certain amount of soul depending on how you program them. But after I did my first solo effort, which was more like a hobby, which was called Silhouette, I used a drum machine because I did not have drums. So I used a keyboard, one of my Korg keyboards, and I programmed each song on the drums, and it took me probably on average to refine it to where it was even halfway acceptable to me, about anywhere from 30 to 40 hours to get each song right. And it was fun, challenging, and I've done some sequential type drum machines afterwards, but hands down, live drums. And even when I play my own drums to my CDs, I have to play to a click track, which is just about as uninspiring as it comes, So yeah, I love tracking and doing real drums because you have a fat, real feel.
So how do you unwind after a show or after a recording session or whatever?
Oh, well, usually I like to sit in a hot tub or jacuzzi with the martini, Belvedere martini, Grey Goose martini, but that's pretty much it. Just relax, low noise level, that kind of thing. But right now I'm not having any cocktails or drinking at all. I mean, just recreational drinking, I should say, because I just got so much work and energy I need to use. And so now when I relax, I guess it'll just be a hot chocolate. Oh, and my hot tea.
Now, do you do the hot tea with honey and lemon? That's a singer thing?
No, I've gone through a lot of different methods to try to preserve the voice live. And the best thing for me is honey and warm tea after the show is really good. I like that. You can do it before. I mean, it depends on the singer. But for me, I use room temperature bottled water with some lemon juice in it. A certain percentage mixture, not too much, but just enough to help the vocal cords stay in shape. And yeah, just room temperature water. Depending on the severity, how heavy I'm singing, how hard I'm singing, because I have different vocal styles. Sometimes I'll have to use a little bit of something cool with ice at the end to help the throat calm down. But that can also be dangerous. So usually you just have to sing your way down, talk your way down, and that includes just either warm tea or just room temperature water.
And what about? I just lost my thought.
Singing, water.
Water,
Honey, hot tea. Vocals.
Cocoa. Oh, head chef. What is head chef? 1957 to present. What is that?
I don't know.
It says by the river head chef.
Because I cook.
Oh.
I should say that, yeah, because I'm not a cook, but I cook. I've been cooking ever since I was a kid. I got tired of waiting for my parents to get up and my dad and my stepmom to get up. So I learned to cook at 7 years old. I started making my own eggs and that kind of stuff. But I'm between my wife and I'm the one that cooks. She bakes on occasion. She likes to bake. She's not a cook. She'd rather go out to dinner or bring dinner home from a good restaurant as opposed to cooking. So, and she likes everything I make. We eat primarily fish and vegetables. And so I cook all kinds of different fish. Like last night I made fish tacos for my son and my wife and my son's girlfriend. So yeah, that's why I'm the head chef.
By the river.
What?
It said by the river head chef. So
by the river, yeah.
I guess that's the name of your restaurant.
That's of course a reference to the late Chris Farley's "I lay on a van down by the river with my government cheese," something. It just sounded funny, so I just put it in there.
So what's your specialty?
There's a couple of them, but probably the swordfish. And a lot of people freak out when they hear this, but I made in here in San Diego, they're taquitos, but they're also called rolled tacos. You can get them anywhere in any frozen food section, and I use swordfish and olive oil and certain secret spices, and I make that with my own homemade guacamole, and some Mexican rice or Spanish rice and some black beans, and that's pretty much everybody's favorite. I also do an incredibly tasty plank salmon or sesame and ginger marinated salmon with angel hair pesto pasta and Caesar salad. Anything fish I can do pretty much. I don't do sushi, let the professionals do that. I love sushi, but mostly fish dishes, I guess. I also eat or make barbecue, my kind of barbecue chicken. Not very often though, because the wife doesn't eat it. But I also like carne asada, which is thin strips of marinated Mexican-style beef, and it is unbelievable.
Make it for me sometime.
Find good stuff here that it's hard because you go into a great Mexican market to get the carne asada, and because I'm a white boy, I come. They don't know that I'm part Mexican, but I go in there and look like a white boy, so I'm not really sure I get the best bits of carne asada. But I love that when I get a good piece. That's unbelievable.
So, play me a song, just off the top of your head. The first one that comes to your head.
Oh, let's see. Well, let's see. Of course, guitar's out of tune now, so that's the end of that.
Oops! Got to tune it. My fault.
Sometimes you bump them, you know. Poor Red, he's a refret.
And you're a pro-choice, pro-gay marriage.
Yes. Yeah, I am. You know.
So you voted for that Proposition 8 that was in California?
I probably did. Here's the rubs. I'm very liberal about a lot of things. I'm very conservative about other things. I guess I'm fiscally conservative and somewhat socially liberal. I have a real hard time with a lot of political things, and I don't really drag people on Skype. They know pretty much where I stand, and I think I've upset some people because they're not as conservative as I am. And I think that upsets them that I'm not as liberal as they are. But I have a lot of respect for people that have their views, but I come across more strongly conservative than I do liberal. But it's only from it stems primarily from the fact that I've worked very hard for what I have, and we are taxed to provide for those who definitely need help, and there are a lot out there that definitely need some real help, and I'm all for that because that's the way that the system should work. What I'm not for is the taking advantage and the erosion of rights and freedom and privacy and the pursuit of happiness by anybody in office, regardless of party affiliation. But to anybody in office that especially tries to accelerate this on an ideology that I don't agree with. So it's tough because a lot of people that like rock and all stuff are very liberal, and that's good. I am too about a lot of things. But I don't want to be taxed 60% or 70% when I've already put my dues in and my hard work. I'm 57 years old, 57 in September, and it's kind of like me restarting over here again, and then I got to be pounded into the pavement by taxation. I think, come on, I've already paid a lot of dues, and I've already taken care of a lot of things. So, but yes, I am. We have a lot of gay friends, a lot of events that we have attended that are gay pride stuff that our friends have been in. I have absolutely no problem with that.
What about the Gay Pride Fest? Have you been to the Gay Pride Fest here in West Hollywood?
Yeah, I've never been to that one.
That's something.
Yeah. Well, I spent a lot of time at Venice Beach, so it's probably not as celebrated, but yeah, it's got to be incredibly entertaining, But because I live here, anything that I would do would be here in San Diego. But I also believe in pro-choice because it's a woman's body. I do believe in a higher power, but I do believe it's a higher power by definition of those that are sane, as opposed to not being able to take care of the body the way you may feel necessary. It's it'll be forever a touchy subject, and that's why I don't bring it to the stage. I would never dream to bring it to the stage because when I go see somebody play live, which is very rare, I don't want to hear them bark about what they believe because I don't care. What I want to hear them is sing, like when I go see Alice in Chains or Stone Temple Pilots or some heavy band that I like, I want to hear their songs. I don't want to hear their crap about their views or the fact that they don't like, the Second Amendment or whatever. I mean, I'm pro-Second Amendment, but I'm not going to sit there and bark about it all on stage because nobody wants to hear that. They want to be entertained. So that's where that belongs.
Now, you're from the day when you had to get out, do a lot of hard work to make yourself known. What about the reality shows. Except we did have Star Search.
Oh, you mean
like Star Search, and then they brought back like American Idol. They tried to bring back the Star Search and the X Factor, and
right.
And now the Rising Star is going to be coming up.
There's a lot of them because a lot of the youth wants to see that and enjoy seeing it, as does a wide demographic of people as well, and audiences. I think that's great because, and I say I don't watch them anymore. I only watched the first American Idol because when it just came on, and we just happened to hear Kelly Clarkson sing. And, you know, being a singer, you know, I mean, I appreciate good singers regardless of the genre, really. But this girl could sing. I was like, whoa. And so we ended up watching the whole series of her. And we even did the voting. And I voted for her. I thought she was a fantastic singer. I mean, when I was growing up, I used to I still do like, you know, Carole King and Joni Mitchell. They're phenomenal songwriters and singers. And Karen Carpenter was a great singer. You know, it wasn't stuff I wanted to do, but I appreciated what they did. So, in listening to the Kelly Clarkson, and she had bona fide talent, as a lot of them do and did. It's a great thing it's a new avenue for people to rise to stardom, because that type of volume of popularity is all done with the machine of the business, as everybody knows. I mean, you know, the boy bands are all, you know, manufacturers, and they're manufactured because there is a demand for it. Some young girls want to hear it. So it's good for the business, it's good for some of the artists, and so be it. It fits a need, and you can't take away that need. And if somebody wants to buy a pet rock, they're going to buy a pet rock. But in my day, when I was aspiring, you know, I just had to bust your butt by word of mouth and get out there and do a proving ground, and it was harder, but probably not harder than some of these people work to be on these shows, or, I mean, from their own raw talent and the things they have to do. Some of them skate, some of them get off on an easy road. I really don't know, but some of them fail miserably because they don't have the talent that's needed, and there's that deciding factor. It's just different. I mean, you know, just something that obviously I couldn't do. I mean, I wouldn't do. I mean, it'd be kind of ridiculous. But for somebody up and coming that wants to be a solo artist in that respect, so yeah, go for it. See what you can accomplish.
What about Carrie Underwood?
I think she was good. I just happened to catch the Sound of Music, the live thing she did on TV, and I watched it because I'm not necessarily a fan of Carrie Underwood, as I am a fan of Sound of Music, because I saw when it first came out in theaters, and I thought I was just a little kid. I was like, this is fantastic. You know, I mean, I like the songs from the songs and the story. I mean, I think I didn't understand the gravity of the story behind it. Like I came to as I got older, and went, oh my God, that was about, you know, escaping Austria because the Nazis were taking over. Very grave consequences back then, and it was very, very sugar-coated. But getting back to Carrie, I think she's good. I don't have any of her CDs, but we do have 3 of Kelly Clarkson's over the vast music collection that I have. It's funny you mention that because when we're on the river on vacation, we go to Lake Havasu with our motorhome, and we wakeboarding up and down the river, and then we take a break and anchor and have some lunch and I listen to all kinds of heavy stuff. Then we put on Kelly Clarkson and listen to her sing, and you know, it's vacation time. So yeah, boy, I really went off topic there, didn't I?
That's all right. That's all right. That's okay. That makes better.
Interesting.
Cold Beach. How did you come to write Cold Beach, your solo project?
That was, well, I had wanted to do one more heavy solo record. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do any more because it is so much work. I mean, to write the songs and the recording process, because I did it all myself, is just so lengthy. And then I had to brush up on drums again. It came to pass because I wanted to do it. I could do it. I had written some songs I thought were really good. Unfortunately, I didn't get the production as good as I wanted to because that excuse me, that was when my youngest daughter and my grandson and her then husband had some real difficult times and had to come live down in San Diego and had to stay in my recording studio, and I was going to recut about 4 or 5 tracks and I never got a chance to, and I had to use what I had. It's not an excuse, it's just what happened. So I didn't get the best out of it, but I got some great songs out of there, of which I hope you don't ask me to play because I don't remember a lot of them now. I don't remember the recordings, but they're very heartfelt, as you talked about the On Your Own song. I wrote one song about one of my best friends who was paralyzed from the waist down in a Harley accident. It's called Jimbo's Bunk. I wrote, actually, my one political song in there is called Change. I won't write a lot of political songs, but at that time I thought it was extremely important to get what I felt my message was about this particular thing taking place. But there was just a lot of opportunity, I thought, there to push forward some good ideas that I had. You know, I'm a big Alice in Chains fan, so I wrote the song Lane about him. And then Tell Me, it's a great song, yeah.
Well, that's a good song.
It's really melodramatic, and it's real deep down tuning, and the Dancing Through the Pain. That was
that was the one with
based on a dream.
Wow.
Yeah, it kind of coincides with like a vampire-ish type thing. And I wrote that way before all this Twilight series stuff came out. But I've always been into Ayn Rand, you know, vampire stuff and horror stories anyhow. But that song I wrote that on the keyboard, Dancing Through the Pain. And unfortunately, that was one I was going to recut, and I never got a chance to, so I had to go with what I had. But
maybe you can recut it with 4x8.
We are going to go over a lot of my old catalog and see if there's anything we can use. I'm usually a fan of cutting new stuff, but once we get together, I mean, we've got so much to do this next long weekend and a couple days before and after. To bring up and talk about, this will probably be one of the points, you know, because there are a couple songs as far back as My Cobalt Parlor I think we should redo. But again, I don't want to make it all about me, even though I'm the lead singer. I want to make it about, you know, what does the band want to do, you know. Hopefully they'll want to do some stuff that will hold some weight and gravity for what I want to sing and relay to the public.
What was Far Cry from Heaven?
That song was about my ex-wife. That song was about my youngest daughter and my son's mother. And it pretty much rings true about all the horrors I had to live through enduring that whole deal. It was a very tumultuous time in my life and in her life as well. So yeah, the song Far Cry from Heaven was based on a lot of tumultuous times, and the lyrics are very true to heart. I write a lot of songs that are very true events that have taken place in my life, and this was one of them. It was just, you know, not good, and so if you read the lyrics, you'll understand.
I did read the lyrics, that's why I wanted to ask you about it. And there's one more song that you was talking about, I don't remember the name of it, about the answer machine, the antiquated answer machines, where the message got erased.
Oh yeah, that's Tell Me.
Tell Me. Oh, that was on Tell Me, okay.
Yeah, that's I love that. It's a great song. The message that you left, I think I erased it. I couldn't get it back and I can't replace it. So tell me. And then my daughter sang, tell me. Tell me what you said, how you said it, when you said it. The cadence in your voice and if you regret it. So tell me. It's just, yeah, it's very, you know, dark, and it's actually based on a a real event too, about someone I was very much in love with many years ago, and it was fun doing that. I mean, it wasn't gut-wrenching at this point in time, but it was fun recalling those emotions, you know, like an actor recalling something to play a part. You know, it's like, well, let's see, this one sounds sad. Well, I have plenty of sadness in my life, so that's what I'll sing about.
Now, I remember when we talked about a week ago, you said that you like to ride your Harley, and you put your little rescue dog. You got him for your wife, but he loves you.
Oh yeah, Alfie. Matter of fact, he just went out for a walk. Yeah, Alfie the white dog. He's a little Bichon Frise. It's like people think they're poodles, but they're not poodles. There's one with a big white round head usually, and they're always off to the side like this. And he's a funny little dog. But yeah, my wife had one when we got married, and he was 10 years old then. That was 15 years ago. Anyhow, the dog had passed on at 17, and we waited about 3 years, and I finally got her another one. I think I more wanted to get her one than she wanted one, but he spends all day with me because I have, of course, the flexible schedule, and she's a corporate woman, so he's a great dog. He's very aloof. He rides in a 500 horsepower dune buggy. It's a sand rail that we have. And he's got goggles. He wears those, and he rides in a boat. He rides in a big motorhome. And nothing scares him. And so when we got the Harleys and got a backpack, put his butt in there, he doesn't care. He loves it. As a matter of fact, if he hears me start the Harley up, he's all excited, like I get to go, right? So yeah, he just sits there, and people film it. They take pictures of me and film it on the road. I don't take them on the freeway because I don't trust the backpack. But yeah, he's a great dog. So yeah, he spends all the time with me, and he thinks he's mine.
And how are you about the motorcycle safety?
Well, because I've ridden ever since I was a kid off-road. So I'm an off-roader. And I've had a lot of accidents where I have scars up in here, my back, side of my head, all over the place. As far as motorcycle road safety, Harleys, they're big bikes, they're heavy bikes, a whole different thing. I'm all for it. I mean, depending on how I ride, but I've always got a helmet on because I've hit the ground on dirt bikes without helmets, and then I started wearing a lot of helmets. I'd never ride without one. And there's absolutely no way I'd ride in the street without a helmet because there's no competition between your head and the cement. I don't do stupid stuff. I'm too old to do that. The bike is too heavy to maneuver like that. I mean, I can wheelie like crazy through the sand dunes of my quads and my motorcycles, but on a Harley on the street, you know, I obey the rules because I don't want to be hit by another car. You know, I'll get on and go fast here and there, but yeah, I'm not an outlaw because I don't want to replace a leg, you know. So I'm pretty good with the safety because I know what pain is.
And you know how to fix an engine. You're a rock star that knows how to fix an engine.
I can, yes. I learned very early age. My dad was all into cars and automotive stuff, and so he taught me stuff he knew when I was very young. I tore apart my first engine to redo it in one of my first van when I was 16 years old. Before that, I was helping my father do stuff and find out what parts are. So, yeah, it's not only is it's efficient, it's also financially efficient. I can rebuild transmissions. I've done that on my old Corvette that I used to have for 26 years. I rebuilt that engine about 4 times, and the transmission a few times because I blew that up. Had to work on my sand rail, my quads, all my motorcycles. If need be, which won't happen, I could tear my engine and the Harley apart. The thing with that kind of stuff, the technical stuff, you have to get clearances for bearings and cranks and cams and fittings and bushings, and it's not to get too technical, but the temperance and clearances are extremely important for friction. But yes, I can fix and do anything. I mean, I grew up on a horse ranch. On the weekends, when I was younger, my step-grandparents had a horse ranch, so I learned how to do all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I'm very, very handy.
And when, as far as your 4x8, when do they actually start the European tour and the U.S. tour?
There's, to change the definition of a tour, there are shows.
The shows.
Yeah, because we won't be going out, not yet. I mean, it may come to pass when we may go out for a month doing some stuff, depending on how things line up. The first appearance we do, John Regan and I are doing a guest appearance at a KISS convention, and we're performing some songs with a local band that does all this KISS stuff in Finland.
From Hollywood, because Hollywood, it happens in Hollywood, it happens across America. Stay tuned for more on 4x8. Stay tuned for more from Hollywood happenings. And Todd, play us out.
Okay. Hollywood happening. Hello, this is Todd Howarth from Ace Frehley's Comet, and now more recently 4x8. And I want to give an introduction to HollywoodHappenings.webs.com and pay attention to them because things are going to happen.